setting sail. The luminous promise of Misty horizon. The sun was high, laughter echoed across the deck. The misty horizon cut through the waves. Four friends, united by a love for the open sea, were on board. They were headed for a legendary fishing spot known as the Devil's Shallows. Stories of monstrous catches and unexplained occurrences clung to it like barnacles. But today, excitement, not fear, fueled their journey. The air was thick with anticipation. The friends shared jokes and stories. They prepared their fishing gear. Each one dreamed of reeling in a catch to top all others. The misty horizon, bathed in the golden glow of the afternoon sun, seemed invincible as it sliced through the waves. The promise of adventure gleamed as brightly as the chrome of their fishing rods. They were young. They were free. The sea was their oyster. Shifting tides, the encroaching veil. As the sun began its descent, a change settled upon the misty horizon. The laughter dwindled. The vast expanse of water, once welcoming, now seemed to hold a hidden menace. The temperature dropped, a subtle chill replacing the warmth of the day. The friends, their initial exhilaration waning, gathered on deck. They watched as the sky, a canvas of vibrant orange and purple hues just moments before, turned a brooding grey. The wind picked up, no longer a playful caress but a low, mournful howl. It carried with it the scent of salt and something ancient, something primal that sent shivers down their spines. Then from the horizon a wall of fog advanced. It rolled in, thick and fast, swallowing the last light of the day. The misty horizon, once bathed in sunshine, was now enveloped in an eerie, swirling grey. The mood on board shifted, mirroring the transformation of the sea. Whispers from the deep Captain Jackson's warning. Captain Jackson, a man weathered by years at sea, stood at the helm. His face, a roadmap of wrinkles etched by sun and salt spray, was creased with concern. He'd seen storms before, weathered countless squalls, but this fog carried a weight that went beyond the natural world. Ghost waters, he muttered, more to himself than to the friends now huddled near him. They looked at him, a mixture of curiosity and fear on their faces. They call this area the Ghost Waters, he repeated, his voice a gravelly rasp. He pointed a gnarled finger towards the swirling grey that surrounded them. Legends say these waters are cursed. His words hung in the air, heavy as the fog itself. The friends exchanged uneasy glances. The name Ghost Waters seemed to cling to the fog, amplifying the growing sense of dread. Shadows in the mist. Unease creeps aboard. The fog pressed against the misty horizon. It was as if the vessel was sailing through a ghostly, ethereal soup. Visibility dropped to mere feet. The friends, their earlier excitement now a distant memory, huddled closer, each man seeking comfort in the presence of the others. The silence on deck was broken only by the creak of the ship and the mournful cry of the wind. And then they began to hear it. Whispers. Faint at first, like the rustling of silk against skin, carried on the wind. They seemed to come from all around them, tendrils of sound coiling around the ship. The whispers rose and fell, sometimes sounding like mournful cries, other times like hushed laughter. The friends strained to pinpoint the source, but the fog seemed to swallow the sound, leaving them with a chilling sense of being watched. Section 5. The Vanishing. Tony's terrifying ordeal. Tony, the youngest of the group, shifted uneasily. He felt a growing sense of dread crawl up his spine. I don't like this, he stammered, his voice barely audible above the whispers and the creaking of the misty horizon. The others tried to reassure him, but their words sounded hollow even to their own ears. Then As quickly as it had begun, the whispering stopped. A scream ripped through the silence. It was Tony. The others spun around to see him vanish into the fog. Icy fingers, unseen but undeniably real, seemed to drag him towards the railing of the yacht. They lunged for him, but their hands closed on empty air. The swirling grey had swallowed him whole. Panic, raw and primal, seized the remaining friends. Their shouts for Tony's name were met with only silence. Section 6. Flight and fear, escaping the grip of the fog. The friends searched frantically for Tony. Minutes stretched into what felt like an eternity. The fog, thick and suffocating, seemed to mock their efforts, hiding Tony from their desperate grasp. Just when hope began to dwindle, a shape emerged from the swirling grey. It was Tony, his face ashen, his eyes wide with a terror that chilled them to the bone. He stumbled back onto the deck, collapsing into the arms of his friends. His clothes were torn, his skin scratched as if by unseen claws. He babbled incoherently about faces in the fog, about icy hands that had dragged him towards the edge of oblivion. They bundled him below deck. The chilling image of his terror seared into their minds. The captain, his face grim, fought to maintain control of the misty horizon as they desperately navigated through the dense, swirling grey. Section 7. The Weight of Silence. Captain Jackson's Grim Resolve. The misty horizon shuddered and groaned, battling against the unseen forces that seemed determined to hold it captive in the ghost waters. Every creak of the ship, every gust of wind that howled through the rigging, amplified their fear. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, the fog began to dissipate. It thinned, revealing glimpses of the star-dusted sky above. With each passing moment, the stars grew brighter, the darkness less oppressive. As the last wisps of fog melted away, it was as if the misty horizon had emerged from a nightmare. They had escaped the clutches of the ghost waters, but the ordeal had left an indelible mark on their souls. The captain, his face etched with a weariness that ran deeper than fatigue, steered them towards home. Section 8. A timeless warning. The ghost waters. Remember. The misty horizon limped back to harbour, a stark contrast to the vessel that had sailed out so confidently just hours before. The friends, forever bound by their shared terror, spoke little. Their silence was heavy with unspoken fear and the chilling memory of Tony's ordeal. The ghost waters had claimed their joy, their innocence, leaving behind a residue of unease that time itself couldn't erase. The ghost waters, they now knew, were more than just a legend. They were a stark reminder of the raw, untamed power of the sea, a place where the veil between worlds thinned, and the whispers of the deep carried chilling truths. The misty horizon was repaired, but her soul, like that of the men who sailed to that fateful night, remained forever tethered to the haunting memory of the fog. The sea, once a source of joy, now held a silent warning. Beware the ghost waters, they remember.